All right, y'all, what's going on? Neil Charles back for another video. If you haven't yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, it'll be right there. Hit the bell notification to keep up with me. Today, we're going to be talking about credit factors, the 5 factors that affect your credit, but this time we're going to break it down to where you understand each criteria. So let's go ahead and get to it. First thing we're going to do is talk about the actual score. How many points in between? So let's talk about your highest score and your lowest score. So the highest score is 850. Your lowest score is 300. We're going to subtract the two, and the total is 550. As you see here, a total of 550 points in between your score. Now we're going to break that down based off the 5 criteria so you understand what's going on. First thing we're going to talk about is payment history. All right, so your payment history is 35% of your score. So that's roughly 192.5.50, however you want to say that, of your actual total range between these scores. So really, if you miss a payment, have a late payment on your credit, this is how much percent it's affecting and the point range it could be. So if you miss a late payment, it could affect you about 100+ points. Especially if it's fresh, like a fresh late payment, it could really damage you. So now let's go to the second criteria. All right, the next one is credit utilization. That's really 30% of your grade. Now, what that means is we're talking about actual credit cards. A lot of people don't have credit cards. If you don't have a credit card, you're missing 30% of your physical grade. Now, on top of that, I know a lot of people use Credit Karma. They check their stuff. We're going to put a little image up where I show you exactly what the problem is with that. We're going to have an image pop up where it says payment history, no data, credit usage, no data, and then it says age, no data. The reason why that is, you don't have credit utilization. You don't have a credit card reporting to your credit. So with that being said, I advise you to actually get a credit card, some kind of secured card. If your credit's bad, actually get it. Now, the old saying was in school, well, when I went to school, I'm kind of up there. I'm 31 now, it's rough. If you had a 0 on a test and it's 30% of your grade, it would really drop your score if you had 100. This is exactly what this is. If you don't have nothing for this criteria, it's like you having a 0 on a test. So you really want to get this populated. Now, another factor is if you over leverage your credit card, meaning you go over the limit, meaning you can have a $200 limit credit card, and let's say you're using $180 of the $200. Now you're over that barrier of that 10% I talked about in my previous videos, then you would also pretty much have a 0 as well. So it's like you got to stay in between. So in between meaning 10% or less. Don't zero it out, but at the same time have some kind of balance reporting. But if you don't have nothing up there, I advise you get it. That's a lot of people's problem with their credit. They don't have no credit usage. That's a big factor. Next one. Credit history, that's 15% of your grade, which is roughly 82.5%. Now, your credit history is a big factor. That's basically how long you've had credit. Now, some people think that they're paying their normal water bill, their light bill, that's helping their credit. It doesn't help your credit at all. You just need to pay your bills. Just being honest. But at the same time, you need to have something revolving, meaning car payment. Installment loans means loans from the bank. Mortgages and credit cards are really the main things that report on your credit as revolving accounts. So what happens is if some of y'all have student loans, since your loans are active, that means your credit has started. So if you had a student loan from back in the day, that means you got some history built. If you don't have any student loans, anything like that, you don't have no age on your credit. So meaning that if you have nothing on your credit right now, you're hurting yourself. So I advise you, if you don't have nothing reporting, if you don't have no age, go out and get you a secured credit card right now. I drop a link below in the description and tell you where to get one at. All right, the next one is types of credit, which is 10% of your grade and is roughly 55 points. Now, types of credit meaning the kind of accounts you have. So some people have credit cards, but there's different kinds of credit cards. You got regular credit cards, meaning American Express, Discover, Chase Bank, Citibank, US Bank. Those are regular credit cards. Then you have store credit cards, which are called retail credit cards. Best Buy, Target, JCPenney, Belk, stores like that. Loans, you have auto loans, mortgages, and regular installment loans. So you want to have a mix. Now, the best mix that I found that worked for me to get me to that top level was I got a couple of regular credit cards. I got American Express. I got Discover. What else I got? I got a Wells Fargo credit card. I have a mixture of credit cards. and I got one secured loan from a credit union that helped with the mix, and that pretty much put me in the category, and I got one overstock card. So that covered my whole mix of all my credit. Very simple. You want to have a mixture of things on your credit. You ain't got to go out there and get bad cock and do all kind of crazy stuff. Just do something simple and basic. Get you a secured loan that covers the loan side. You ain't got to go get a car payment or a mortgage. Secure loan, $500, pay it off over a year. Get you a store card. I recommend a store card that you don't go to. Like, what I mean by that is, if I like jewelry, I'll go to Reed's Jewelry and go get a jewelry card, buy a ring one time, make the payments. That way I have a mixture of a retail card on my credit, and just get some regular credit cards. That's a good tip right there. All right, the next one is the amount of new credit. That means your inquiries. Now, that's a big issue. Even though that is a low percentage, that's the 55-point range. So what that means is how you apply for credit, meaning what you're applying for, auto loans, not auto loans, on the lot financing. A lot of these on the lot financing places, they will run your credit up multiple times. So this is the factor that affects that. The ideal number to have for that is roughly 2 or less inquiries. That's what you want to do, 2 or less. But if you happen to have an issue where you went on the lot financing, and they're actually going to run your credit, they're going to run it up. They're going to run it until they can find something to approve you. So you might go to a car lot. You might have bad credit already. You're going to have them run your credit, and when they run it, they're going to run it up, and they're going to say, man, dog, Mr. Charles, you that rough. You ain't getting nothing. You're not going to get nothing. But the typical person, some people, what they do, they go to another lot and see what they would do. If you didn't get it at the first one, don't go to the other one. You'll end up with 40, 60 inquiries on your credit, and then you're going to be mad. Your point going to drop, and those things last up to 2 years on your credit from the day you did it. With that being broke down, you got your payment history, 35%, credit utilization 30, credit history 15, types of credit 10, amount of new credit 10. The biggest factor, as you see, I have it in order, is the payment history. Make sure you pay your bills on time. All your auto loans, all your mortgages, stuff like that, pay on time. Your credit utilization, it says 30% of your grade. Since it's 30%, you want to have a credit card active, some kind of credit card active. Credit history, age of credit. It comes with you having accounts, having a credit card. Your types of credit is the mix, the secured loan, the credit cards, and the store card. And your amount of new credit, meaning your inquiries. Be careful with this, but you want to have that low as well. Definitely want to follow those criteria. You follow all those, you'll be fine and get everything squared away with your credit. So with that being said, I hope you got some good information today. We broke it down thoroughly by points, good information. So give me a like below, give me your comments, give me some feedback. And once again, if you haven't subscribed yet to Work with Neil Charles and hit that bell notification, do so now, and I'll catch you in the next video.